Acumatica 2021 R1 helps streamline sales and supply chains, especially through improvements made by drop shipments. As a seller, you don't necessarily want to keep a lot of inventory in stock. Instead, you can place an order with your vendor and the vendor will ship the products directly to your customer, also known as a drop ship. Acumatica 2021 R1 has tightened the link between the sales orders and purchase orders. Now, if the customer changes their mind after the PO has been sent to the vendor, you can update the order while keeping records in sync. Also, if the customer receives goods not to their satisfaction, they can now send them back to the vendor directly, not to your warehouse. Let's look at how to create a sales order and drop ship to your customer. First, the purchasing department needs to create the order for the vendor. Use the Create Purchase Order screen to create the drop ship order. Select and click to process the drop ship request. This will create the PO for the customer. On the purchase order, you can see some of the new linking that is available to streamline the supply chain. You can see that we are managing a dropship PO as well as seeing two new fields, sales order number and sales order linked checkbox. These make it easier to see where documents are being processed from and to. Similar linkage fields exist on the sales order also so that you can get the same visibility from the other side. Next, remove the PO from hold and enter the PO receipt. This indicates that you have begun the process of drop shipping to the customer. After that, you'll enter the vendor reference number and release the purchase receipt to indicate that the customer has now received the goods from the drop shipment. Now, you can check in with the salesperson to see if there are any follow-ups on this order. According to the salesperson, the items arrived but the customer was unhappy with them. You'll go to the Customer 360 view and open the sales order. The customer says that the decals weren't sticking well and wants to return them. In Acumatica 2021 R1, these items can be returned directly to the vendor. In order to do this, you'll need to initiate a new sales order. The SO type is return. Enter the customer and add a description. Return the items by adding invoice details, finding the previous purchase, and adding it to the return order. In this case, you want the items to be drop shipped back to the vendor. Then use the action Create Vendor Return. This will create the direct return information so the customer can send the items back to the vendor. If needed, you can customize a report that will automatically send an email to the customer with instructions on how to return the items. Once the return is received, you will automatically create the appropriate debit adjustment in Acumatica to complete the 360-degree sales cycle. To see more enhancements in Acumatica 2021 R1, visit nextview.com/2021 R1 today.